whenever you're ready.
Oh, we don't need to approve this one, forget it. Yay.
I got my
I'll walk, no problem.
Who has that big set of scissors?
I
A
got
pair of
gold-
scissors.
I've got gold ones.
I got a blue torch.
Golden ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeremy Sipple, and I'm going to be presenting the Student Government Association budget request for FY18. So the mission of student government is we are a representative body for the students to empower, enable, serve, and represent their needs and rights to the students as well as to the university community, being a bridge between students and administration. So we support the university mission through engaging, empowering, and serving our students. We offer a unique programming set where students are able to share their concerns, their ideas, and issues that they see on campus that they feel need to be resolved. This allows for our students to give feedback, which enriches their experience. This also gives the university an opportunity to find innovative ways to solve those problems that students are having, and it allows them to actually think about the future of the university. So another thing that's really supportive for the university mission is our student leadership. Students are sent to the COSGA conference that happens in College Station every spring in February. We typically take about 5 to 6 students. They go down for 4 days and they learn about everything involving student government, programs that they can take back to their campus that will be helpful for programs. And then also we have students that are able to develop as leaders. So we have the NACA core competencies, which are clarified values, social responsibility, leadership, interpersonal relationships, multicultural competence, collaboration, and realistic self-appraisal. Right now, the executive officers take an assessment that shows what those competencies are and where they're at, and they take that in the fall and they take that in the spring. We are going to be moving forward with more of our students in student government being able to take that competency assessment, as well as going to the NACA conference that is called the Huge Leadership Weekend that happens in May, where they actually focus specifically on those competencies and to be able to develop those skills. So the structure of student government. As their advisor, I'm on the executive board, but this is a student-led, student-run organization. So then you have the president, you have the vice president and the Senate chair, the two people sitting there, and then we have vice president of Senate affairs. The Senate is made up of 6 committee chairs and then 6 committees. We actually did just change 2 of the committee names. One of them is academic affairs, campus safety and security, campus life, external affairs, internal affairs, and public relations. So the campus life used to be known as food and housing, but now that is actually encompassing more mental health, recreational, and physical well-being. And public relations used to be our technology and media committee, and now this is going to be primarily marketing, but then also doing social media for student organizations. And then we have our Supreme Court. So comparatively to from FY16 to FY17, we actually increased our events. We have 736 attendees, and we actually decreased our expenses. And we had 46 students per event, but we also sponsored more events as an organization. And one reason why I'm very proud of these numbers is we actually started the year with only 5 senators and then 3 executive officers. We were able to grow the Senate to 25 members by the end of this year. And for next year, I'm expecting these numbers to even increase more because we'll be able to actually start the year with 16 senators. So props to my students for being able to get those numbers up this year. I'm very proud of them for that. And the election board, yes. So this is actually the budget for this request for the fiscal year 18. We are requesting an increase of $7,400. We've actually taken a decrease in operating and maintenance of $2,000, and then a decrease in wages for the office assistant. But the reason that we still have an overall increase is to cover my salary line item, which was originally $34,500, which has increased it to about $44,000 to $45,000. So overall there is that increase, but we have decreased in other areas to kind of minimize that impact. So program ideas and growth for FY18. There are a lot of times when we have students that are tabling and we're getting those feedback on issues that they want to see resolved. One of those things is safety on campus. So one of the things that we're going to tackle next year is actually doing campus safety walks, one in fall and one in spring. And then we're also going to do more programs with UPD. One thing that was brought up at the forum with the president was that students don't feel as acclimated to the university police department. So we're going to have them more visible. Campus Safety just did a survey.
Time. We're moving to questions now. Questions for Jeremy?
So, you mentioned in the presentation that if needing to reduce the budget further, you would eliminate the office assistant position and just make the secretary position stipended. How much would that decrease the budget?
That would increase the budget by $2,000.
By $2,000.
Can you just talk about the survey you wanted to do?
Yes. So the survey was done by the Campus Safety and Security Committee, and they did it where they saw what students wanted to see on campus for safety. Were they feeling comfortable? Do they need more lights on campus? Are they more acclimated to the police department? Are they seeing students combative against each other? And what does that look like? Is there programming that we can do to help support that?
Did you get the results?
We did get the results.
What were-
So the results were that students need more lights on campus because they don't feel comfortable and safe when they're walking home late at night from an event on campus. They also want to see a service from the police department that walks them back to their residence hall. And also they want to do an actual campus safety walk because there's other areas on campus that they don't feel comfortable walking around. And then there's also actually the combative between student and student. They want to be able to engage with students and learn about other students because they don't feel comfortable approaching somebody that's different than them.
How feasible would it be to have police and escorts, from events on campus?
So we would have to have that conversation. I'm not saying that conversation can't happen. I have been approached by UPD that they do want to do more collaborative programming with SGA. So that's definitely an avenue that we can open the door, and I think that could future down the line. Talk to the chief.
Do you first talk about CSAC and then maybe follow that up with just a brief explanation of the major legislation?
Okay. So CSAC is the Chancellor Student Advisory Council, and 2 of our students represent the university on that council. They do go to 3 meetings that are in person. One is in College Station, one is in Austin, and then the other one is at the May 1st meeting of the, I guess you could call it the year for CSAC. And that will actually be happening at Central Texas A&M University this year. But basically what that is, they also have monthly meetings online where they talk about the issues at the university, and some issues are happening across the entire system. So this allows each student representative to talk about those issues, and maybe there's a way that the entire system can solve that one problem if everybody's having one.
So I see that there is an increase in the president's salary. Why is that increase?
Correct. So for the FY17 budget, that was not calculated correctly, so we had to increase it to where it was supposed to be, because it's supposed to be comparable to other student leaders within the student involvement area. So CAB was getting paid higher, and then other student leaders in Greek life were getting paid higher, so it was needed to be comparable for the president and vice president.
You want to show us the next one?
Yeah.
We have looked into other SGA conferences, but the experiences are widely vastly less than for those students.
To kind of ask, when it comes, having formally served on SGA as treasurer, which deals with the budget, how much for the budgeted FY17 did you actually use? Because I know that it varies depending on the committee.
Correct.
So my question is, could you cut from certain committees? I know that they have changed, but could you?
So what's happened in the past is, yes, committees have not always spent all of their money that's been allocated to them. However, this year, what we were allocated was $84,000. We've actually spent that $84,000. We had rollover from previous years, and we're now starting to actually dip into that. So external affairs is a perfect example. What they were allocated, they only have 17 cents left. Campus safety and security only has $70 left. So a lot of our line items are being completely used this year. That's what.
You briefly explain how student governance is mission critical to the university.
So student government is very mission critical because it is the voice of students. So for example, the pieces of legislation that we had, the three major pieces of legislation were the athletic fee referendum, which just passed. So that's really helpful for students because this is going to be beneficial for them overall. Had student government not penned that legislation, that referendum would not have been able to happen. Also, there is the student government constitution. So that's all voted on by the students at this institution. So a lot of it is, we're really for all of the students, no matter if they're at any other off-campus location, if they're here, if they're an online student, every one of our students, we support those individuals. And also, we will be doing things online more, doing more live streaming, so we really do focus on reaching out to every one of our students.
Have other questions for Jeremy and SGA? No? Thank you very much, Jeremy. We appreciate your time this morning.